Welcome to another episode of Shriv Tactical. We're here to shriv it up.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shriv Tactical. Today we're going to be looking at a bunch of different relatively common use weapons with some different home defense rounds. And we're going to go out to our Shriv range and we're going to shoot a pre-built wall that we constructed to emulate a wall inside your house. And there's a portion of it that emulates a wall, like an exterior wall. We're going to shoot through them. We're going to put a torso behind it. We're going to see what patterns look like from shotguns. We're going to see what the frangible ammo does as it's going through the wall. How much does it break up? How much impact is there? And we're just going to see what happens. See if we learn anything interesting about what it looks like to shoot a weapon inside a home. And if you miss potentially the person or thing that you're shooting at and it just strikes the wall, what is the outcome of that? How much penetration? How much does it go through? As scientifically as possible, look at a few of those different pieces. So if
as shriv as possible.
That's fair. As shriv as possible. If you want to come on in, we'll quickly just talk about the different calibers that we're going to be shooting today. So starting over here, this is typical 5.56. You guys have seen this before. We're using a frangible 223 designed to kind of break apart on impact for varmints and different things like that. Coming over here, we've got this beautiful shotgun. We're going to do two different ones. We're going to do kind of a common self-defense load with the buckshot, and then we're also going to do the 7.5 birdshot. And obviously, again, just looking at the differences between those two as we come across, we've got a Remington 45 ammunition. It's 185 grain coming out of a 1911 platform. We've got the 22 self-defense rounds here that we're going to be doing out of the 22 cal Glock. And we got some standard 9mm home defense rounds here that we've seen out of the Gen 3. Coming over here, we're going to do 380. These are the Hornady Critical Defense. And then a couple different things. We wanted to try 300 black. I know there's a lot of conversation about, 300 black in my house with a suppressor gives me a lot of opportunity. We don't currently have a 300 black AR, but we do have this, which is going to be similar in terms of barrel length. So using some subs and just kind of see what that would look like. Back here, we're going to do 38 Special Plus P Hornady Critical Defense. And then the last little piece that we're gonna throw a suppressor on the 9mm as well and shoot just a typical 9mm sub. That's something that someone might want to run in their home to, have the noise stay down, obviously. And not always are they self-defense hollow point rounds. Sometimes the subs are a much heavier full metal jacket round. So we're gonna try to compare and contrast what that looks like. But we're excited to get out and shoot. We've got a pretty cool setup today with the wall that we built, Shriv style, and we'll see you guys out there.
All right, Eli, at the Shriv range here, as you can see, we got our wall. This is our Shriv wall here. On this section here over, we have two sections of studs that's going to emulate more of an exterior wall. We didn't get crazy with stucco or siding. A couple sheets of OSB on the back side, insulated walls here, 1/2-inch sheetrock. From here over, just your standard interior wall, no insulation. Obviously, real house, there's a couple other things running through it, plumbing, electrical, things like that. But to keep things simple, at the Shriv range, this is what we got. We're going to start with a smaller caliber 22 pistol. We're going to shoot through the exterior and then through an interior, and where we got steel targets. J-Rod, you want to come check this out over here?
Absolutely.
Got a couple steel targets painted back here, and we are going to shoot through and then basically see what kind of marking is going to be put on these steel plates and whatnot. Give us a little bit of an idea. So where all things are Shriv, basically, is what we're going to do here. So Jared's going to pop off with the 22 pistol, and we're going to get this party rolling.
All right, so this is the 22. It's the Federal Premium 29 grain self-defense rounds that they make, coming out of a Glock 44. I heard her go ting. Exit there, and as expected, not a whole lot of, no deformation of the steel whatsoever. Just some removal of paint.
Definitely went through and hit it, though.
Not suggesting I'd want to be standing there. I can see daylight. I'm going to take a moment and pride myself on the shot.
Well, Shriv is as Shriv does.
For sure. That's what Mama told me. Yeah, okay.
Obviously, no surprise.
No.
Absolutely none. So, yep.
If you didn't think 22 was going to go through your house walls, You were wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, let that be known. I mean, obviously other houses, brick, you know, stone on the outside, stucco, obviously it's going to affect it to a point, but depending, unless it hits something solid like a stud, which, you want to try to hit a stud with that 22 real quick? So
22, gonna attempt to put it on the stud and see what happens.
there is a stud right down through here. That's where the impact was. Not seeing any light through it.
Oh, I got no exit. Nope, no exit.
Right through here, so. Yeah, okay.
All right, stepping up, we got the 380. This is Hornady Critical Defense. This is their 90 grain FTX rounds, and this is coming out of the Ruger LCP Max. First shot is going to be on the interior wall. I'll try not to hit the stud. Not that there's any surprises. Larger exit hole, of course. Larger spattering. No, and this is about as scientific as this shriv can get. No real deformation of the steel yet. I think as we move up in calibers, we're going to start to see that. But other than just the splatter and the paint, still no actual deformation of the metal.
Still going into flesh. Yeah.
At no point from here on out in the video, I'm going to make it clear, I don't want to be behind any of these. But I think it's interesting. It's really the only way we can denote the energy that's hitting these. 380. Going to try to go through the stud on this one, or at least hit the stud at 7 yards. Okay. I think we accomplished that. Okay. I do, however, have an exit. Looks like maybe that hit the stud enough to send it off because it didn't hit the metal. Yeah, must have changed course or direction enough.
Yep, definitely going through though.
Yep. Hey, 380 going through the exterior wall. That's what she does.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Same conversation. You know, just paint distortion at this point. Not enough energy to ruffle the metal.
All right, we're going to be shooting 9mm. This is Hornady's American Gunner, 124 grain hollow point, XTP. We're going to shoot through the exterior wall. Here we go. Clearly right through. Didn't expect anything different there, and once again, right out the back. Oh. A little more splatter on that one. I mean, again, none of that tells you anything. It's definitely gonna go through and get you. All right, now shooting the interior wall. Obviously not gonna expect too much different as we've seen over and over and over. Here we go. I can see daylight from here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. There we go. She's making it through. Definitely went through. Right here. Oh yeah. Right through the stud. You can see that right there. Missed the target, but no doubt it's going through. We're going to shoot suppressed here. We've got S&Bs, 150 grain subs, 9mm. We're going to take the first crack at through an exterior wall. Right there, I believe, yeah. Hole's getting bigger, blowing it through there.
So, is that this strike then?
No,
that's the 22. Okay.
It's gonna be
One of those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
right through. I can see daylight from here. Let's take a swack at the stud here. Must have missed that one. It was this one right here.
Well,
yeah, right there. Definitely went through though.
should have been a stud hit. Looks like it.
It was a stud hit and it went through. And that is the 150 grain sub, and you can see right there. That's where she rolled through at.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we are shooting 38 plus Ps, 110 grain. They're Hornady defensive hollow points as well. We're shooting the interior wall here first. Stand by. No surprise. Yep, everything as is. Let's take a shot at that stud and see what we get.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that one I missed. That one definitely right in the stud.
Okay, well, I don't see.
By golly, there's no exit wound.
I don't
over
see
here.
daylight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's because I mean it would definitely be right up in here.
Yep. So we're going to take the final shot with the 38 plus P, 110 grain Hornady through an exterior wall. Here we go. Once again, no surprise. More of the wall being removed.
And torso hits. All right.
We got the 45 at this point. We are going to shoot the interior and exterior wall. This is Remington's 185 grain jacketed hollow. Again, no surprise. She's rolling through without a problem. So, all right, again, Remington's 185 jacketed hollow point. We're going to shoot through an interior wall, and then I'm going to go and do an attempt to hit the stud right in the middle. See what happens. There's the impact from just through the interior wall, and then you know what? That might have been there when you moved the target. Okay, I was looking at that.
No way, that's from the jacket.
Think so?
No, I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Okay. Maybe you must have scuffed it with your
Yeah.
with your equipment.
With my Shriv tack equipment.
Take two on hitting the stud with the 45. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely redirects the course of.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt it went through the stud right.
Did I not hear it hit metal though?
I heard it hit metal as well.
That might have. All right. As we're dabbling with trying to hit the stud on the 45, which we've done a couple times.
Twice right here.
And then yeah, like kissing cousins right there, which is not a thing. I've never done that. Sorry, West Virginia. What's going on over here? So what's crazy is it's hitting the studs, and we hear it hitting metal, but it's not hitting this target. Just Blair Witched you. They're coming up here, getting redirected and tagging this upper target. So, and they're getting directed upwards, which is crazy because we're shooting at a little bit of a down angle. That's interesting. All right, 300 black, suppressed. It's a 190 grain Hornady subsonic round. It's got their special FTX style tip, and we're gonna start with the exterior wall.
And why are we using that American Ranch Gen 2?
Because we don't own a 300 black in AR right now.
Why is that?
Because I got rid of mine. Because you're too cheap to buy one. How about that?
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, God. This is what arguing looks like. This is healthy arguing.
That guy right there.
Okay.
Oh, right here?
Yep.
Ooh, boo-boo.
Alright, we'll do both. We're gonna do the interior because we know what's gonna happen, and then I'll shoot for a stud.
That's right where the stud is.
Right? No, that's interesting. Yeah, the impacts on those are interesting.
They are.
Obviously traveling really slow, must be getting heavily deformed as they're hitting the different...
You can see pieces of wood right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What are you doing?
You know, just loading some ammo. We just know what's gonna happen when we shoot the interior wall with this. So we're gonna go over and do the exterior, and these are 55 grain Winchester varmint rounds. They're, as you heard previously, for rapid expansion. Start on the exterior over here, then we'll come over and we'll do the stud. I think we'll check them both out at the same time. Now, I'll say this, the reason we chose this ammo, I mean, I know it's 55 grain, which is super common. It's not a green tip, it's not anything else. The point of it is, you might use frangible ammo in your house. You might think that if it hits something and breaks apart faster, you get less penetration, and through multiple walls that might be true. So that's why we went with that style of ammunition for this test. Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, yep, there we go. And, yeah. Oh,
She removed some lumber.
did a little damage back here.
What's in there? Oh, sorry.
Get a little distracted. Yeah, well, we got some drywall on the target here. Okay.
Well,
still at no point, no metal deformation from any of these, which I think at this point surprises me a little on the AR. But
well, I mean, those are fresh pieces of steel as well. But I don't know if that matters. But no, I mean, don't let that be confused. There was no thought that this was not going to be lethal. You know, without ballistic gel or anything cool, which you know,
we'll take a sponsor for. Just saying.
Yeah, need be. It'd help us be more scientific.
All right, Big Hoss, what's that cheap Chinese piece of junk you're shooting?
This cheap Chinese piece of caca might even be Italian. Nah, it says made in the USA.
Still Italian-ish.
Ish. We got the Beretta A300 Patrol here. We're gonna tear this wall up.
Yeah.
Really, it's what's about to happen. We've got 3 rounds of Federal's law enforcement double-aught 9 pellet, and then we got 3 rounds of just Federal's basic Birdshot 7.5 to see what that does as well. So let's get this party started.
You just gotta make it work.
There we go.
Exterior wall?
Exterior wall.
Okay. He's still in there. He ain't feeling too good.
Yep. I'm gonna go for the stud on the exterior wall. Okay. And surprise, surprise.
You know, I think 5/8 would have stopped it.
You think so? The sheetrock?
For sure. Yep. Oh,
Hey, buddy.
stick your tongue in there. Go ahead. Attaboy. Let's go check out this. Well, that's
Woo!
half of a 2x4 that's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, as we've discussed with this particular ammo, we're always pretty impressed with the patterning and the grouping.
Yep.
And I mean, look at this. Goodness gracious.
Yep. Very tight. And granted, that was 2 shots in there, so.
Yeah, it's true. I'm glad you said that. I was doing some real Rain Man math right then.
Well, you know, you got to take the square root, carry the 1, 2, I don't know.
Okay, that's we're gonna go ahead and point out that wadding's gonna go through your wall too. Yeah. I don't. Did it go out? It didn't go out the other side.
My fingers.
Give it back. Okay. No. So the wadding did not go through both. It's interesting to note. Just a reminder. This is at 7 yards. Patterns obviously are all the same tight. Oh, that one got caught up there. Okay.
Yeah. No, and that really. I mean. Oof, I mean that. Yeah. I mean that puts an exit. I feel sorry for the bird that's on the other end of that. All right, pretty much just to wrap this up here. As you can see, and as we've shown in that video, maybe not the most scientific. We're working with what we got here, but as a whole, plenty of holes. You can see just the risk of using a firearm in your home, and it really doesn't almost matter what you're shooting.
No.
I mean, 22 and up. Obviously, no surprises here. You know, 5.56, 2.23. I mean, 9mm to 45. All these things, and then I mean, even the Birdshot really just really put a pepper on that wall. So yeah,
Just gonna have to clean that up.
we are gonna have to clean it up.
I think you know, when you're looking at what you can shoot through exterior walls, if you have a brick house, certain cinder blocks, depending on how they're filled, I think you have an opportunity to stop around from exiting your home, depending on how it's constructed. But clearly, in home, whether your inside walls are insulated or not, it's you're going to have to know what's in the next few rooms, to be quite honest, unless it happens to hit a big chunk of furniture or something, because everything's going through. And all that means is just, you know, plan for it. Walk your house multiple times with an empty weapon, of course. Check your lines of sight. Check where you might be firing. Check your choke points. I'm no expert. Don't think that I am. I'm not pretending to be. But these are the things that, as a person who just is concerned about home defense and self-defense, that I've thought through, because we've got families and we got to make sure we know where our rounds are going, because we're accountable for everyone. But as he said, not the most scientific, but that's what you've come to expect here on Shriv Tactical, as well as a windy day in Arizona. And hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. Click like, subscribe, please. Leave some comments. Make fun of us. I don't care. I can mostly handle it.
Mostly. Don't get too carried away.
I'll just cry in the dark by myself. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. And just like that, she was gone.